Hey everybody, got a cool rebound to show everyone today. This is a Leonard's rebound, and it was done for a friend of mine, and then I had the opportunity to acquire it from him. This is a new Analytical Bible and Dictionary of the Bible by Dickson, published by Dickson. And I'll have to say, this might be one of the most comprehensive study Bibles that you could find. And it's in the King James Version. It's really, really nice. It might be one of my favorite Bibles now, after having it and really enjoying it, looking through it for the last few days. This might be one of my favorites. Okay, so I'll get into the Bible as well, but let's start with the binding. You can see this is a green. This is a goatskin from Leonard's. It's got the 5 raised ribs on the spine, and I guess being a rebinder myself, I have my own personal critique of how I rebind and how I do things. So it's a little bit different. One thing, this is a paste down. You can always tell a paste down rebind because the front, you can see in the shadow a little bit. It creates like a box shape on the cover, and really it's not that unattractive. I just prefer that not to be there, and that's why I do the fold over method. I fold the cover over the liner instead of liner over the cover. That way, because the cover still has to be folded over, so that's double the thickness around the corner and around the edges due to the leather being folded over. Anyway, I still think it's pretty attractive. It's just not exactly the same style that I normally do. So anyway. That's the bookbinder in me coming out. But other than that, the goat skins are really nice feel. You can see where they stamped genuine goat skin on the bottom part of the cover. Not super crazy about the corners. I mean, Leonard's is an experienced bindery, and you kind of would think they would do a little more than that. But anyway, the greatest part about this Bible is not the binding, though. Even though the binding's growing on me, that's kind of the biggest hitch. The goatskin's great. If I could do a different liner and maybe redo the corners, I probably would. But anyway, I want to go through this Bible to show how incredible it is. Now, these Bibles, they're not that rare. If you look on Amazon, you can find these Bibles, at least reprints by Thomas Nelson, and the later printings of them. You can find them, fairly easy on Amazon. Just do a Google search of the New Analytical Bible and Dictionary of the Bible, and you can find them. You're not going to find them for much cheaper than about $50, $60, $70, $80. Some of the ones in better condition are going to run $150. They're rare Bibles, even though they're not that hard to come by. There's not a whole lot of them around, so probably not quite as rare as like an O2 side column reference, or there's several other more rare Bibles that might be a little more desirable that you're going to pay more for. But this is one of the rarer study Bibles of its day, and this was a 1947 printing. Originally printed in 31. Now the internet will say 1929, but at least going by this, copyright is in 31 by the Dickson Publishing Company. So, and this is commonly known as the Dickson Study Bible, but its technical name is the New Analytical Bible and Dictionary of the Bible. So instead of going page by page, and of course you see it's King James, always King James will have this this dedication to King James. But let's just look at this table of contents for just a second. Instead of me going page by page, you can kind of see how it is. You got a ton of great contents in the first 20 pages. Then you have about almost 300 pages of dictionary. And then also down here you'll see you also have a concordance. And the reason that's important is the concordance will show you what scriptures align with that word, but having a dictionary also gives you the proper definition. If you're talking about omniscience, if you're talking about fidelity, it's important to know the definition, the proper definition of that term, and then you can also use this to show you where it appears. And the concordance is not huge; it's only about 100 pages, a little more than 100 pages, as you can see. But that's not all. This thing, you can see the text goes about 1,100 pages in the Old Testament, and then another 350 pages in the New Testament. And you have some apocryphal books between the two, and you have a little, like you see that from Malachi to Christ, there's a little article about that. But there's so much content after that, probably another 100 pages of, I'm sorry, more like 40 pages of articles and graphs and whatnot. So there's also subject by subject. There's also maps, and I'll show you some of that too. So also, before I move on, and you can see it has 4 beautiful multicolored ribbons that I really like having. It's really nice. So we'll get past the, you have an outline, you have several articles on different topics, which is really cool. Doctrine, inspiration. They're really, I haven't read much of them. There's just so much in this Bible. It's hard to really get all that it offers. It's almost like a Thompson chain. You're just not going to get it all at one time. So, and here's your dictionary. It's a huge dictionary, really comprehensive dictionary. And let me get past the dictionary, and we'll get to there's a few other things. We get to the Old Testament. Here's the end of the dictionary, and you can see a couple of cool graphs, kind of showing the creation and how that works. The progression through time. The text is a pronouncing text, which used to bother me, but it doesn't really bother me that much anymore. But one thing is really cool. The paper is really nice. In this 47 edition, the paper is great. But you can also see your references. Instead of having a center column for your references, they're at the end of each verse, and this is a verse by verse. So you can really, it's really nice to have that right on hand. So anyway, and you can see the text is really nice. It's probably, I don't know, maybe a 9-point font, but it's good bold. It's good bold print. And you have, here's the Genesis. You have, every book has got kind of a history, has got historical articles and whatnot. It's really good stuff. I mean, you see you have an outline of Genesis at the end, and it goes through a lot of the important timeline stuff. You have a lot of cool articles, and this is for every book. Every book has got these kind of in-depth breakdowns at the end of the book. And see, you can see where in Joshua you have a ton of good information about Joshua, outstanding facts, and it just kind of goes through. It's just a really comprehensive, much more comprehensive than a lot of the study Bibles we see today. So it's just really a blessing to have. And anyway, so to keep this from going too long, I wanted to show one other thing which is really cool, and I'll just show you this in Isaiah. At the beginning of each chapter, you can see there is a synopsis of what's coming that chapter. Chapter 6, and it shows Isaiah's vision of the Lord's glory. He sheweth the obstinacy of the people unto their desolation. So you can see what's coming. Chapter 7, you can see what's coming. It kind of prepares you for what's coming that chapter. So it's really, really, really an awesome study tool in preparation for leading a small group or preaching or just your own personal study. It's really great stuff. So, and the New Testament is great. It's not red letter, it's black letter, as you can see. But I'm just blown away by this paper. This paper is 70 years old, and it is just excellent. Normally, Bibles that old, they'll start yellowing real bad, and the way you can tell a Bible paper is made out of high quality paper is if it's old and it's not yellowing too bad. You know, Thompson chains are known for that. They're not known for yellowing, but known for not yellowing. Their paper is super thin, so it has to be made out of extremely high quality materials, and those high quality materials keep it from turning yellow. And that's one way you can tell if your Bible paper is in really good condition or made out of really good materials. Sorry about that. So, all right. So we get to the let's see. You get to the end. You can see the Gospels harmonized, which is really cool. It's a really cool tool. At the end of the Gospels, it kind of has this short little bit about the Gospels and the teachings of Christ. It's really cool. And then you get into Acts and the other New Testament texts. Anyway, so and then you get to the end of the text, and you have just a ton more stuff. And it starts your some of these study articles and like you can see, all these are about the characters of the Bible. Daniel, Paul. Then you have miracles, and then we're about to get to the Concordance, and the Concordance is pretty good too. You have a topical study, which is really nice. Kind of similar to the Thompson chain, just not quite as extensive. And then you'll get to your Concordance, and the Concordance is small, but you can see the print gets really small, so it's not that small. But it's definitely helpful in study. So anyway, let's get to the end of that. I wanted to show this map at the back. It's really cool. Let's see. There's an index, of course, and you have. This is really cool too. Look at this. This map's really cool. It's in color, and it folds out to this huge map of the Holy Land, and you have a map of Jerusalem, and you move this one back, you have a map of the Mediterranean, and that's it really. I know we're at 14 minutes right now, and that's skimming through it. I mean, that's skimming at 30,000 feet through it. So, and you can see the binding on the back. It's really nice. It is nice. I just particularly like a different style, but this will do. This will definitely do. When I wear this one out, I'll rebind it myself into something different. So anyway, awesome Bible. I recommend if you've got an extra $50, all of them are printed in the U.S. Find a good cheap used edition on Amazon and get one. I mean, you will not be upset by it. if you can find an older edition printed by Dickson, it seems to be even better, in my opinion, from what I've seen on pictures, at least. This is the only one I've held. So anyway, pick up one. I'm telling you, you'll search that title and on Google, and go to Amazon and search that title and find one. You won't be disappointed. So, and I'm thankful again to have been blessed with the opportunity to acquire this one, and I hope to have it for a long time and use it for a long time. So anyway, thank you guys again. Reminder, subscribe to the channel, and I've got a lot coming up this month and next month. I've got a lot of new Bibles being sent to me to review. I'm going to be posting another one today of from Foundation, and I've got a lot of other Bibles being sent by publishers. So subscribe, that way you can get notifications when new Bibles are reviewed. Also, subscribe and check out our giveaway for this month, the month of September 2017. It is the C.S. Lewis Signature Classics 8-volume paperback set. So check it out and be eligible for the giveaway. I hope that you enjoyed this little rebind and Bible review of the Dickson produced New Analytical Bible and Dictionary of the Bible. Thank you again for watching. God bless.